Welcome back to the channel, World Coin's master coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers. Today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary and mysterious world of the 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin. Yes, the humble Lincoln penny that might just be worth a jaw-dropping $440 million. You heard that right. $440 million. And no, this is not clickbait. The story, the history, the hidden secrets behind this coin are so shocking and so incredible that by the end of this video, you may find yourself checking your old coin jars, drawers, and pockets with a whole new perspective. Let's travel back in time to the year 1986. A year that marked a critical moment in American history. Ronald Reagan was in office, the Space Shuttle Challenger had just launched its final mission, and the Cold War tensions were beginning to thaw. Amidst the whirlwind of politics, pop culture, and global change, the United States Mint quietly pressed what seemed like ordinary copper-plated zinc pennies. But hidden among the billions of common coins, a few rare 1986 Lincoln cents were born, coins so mysterious, so rare, and so coveted that today, their worth is almost mythical. So, what makes the 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin so special? Let's break it down. First, the design. On the obverse, that's the front, is the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right, a design by Victor David Brenner. It's a portrait that's been gracing the penny since 1909, marking the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular issue American coin. But in 1986, the Lincoln design quietly passed a historic milestone. While the design remained unchanged to the naked eye, subtle dye varieties and minting errors created some extremely rare variations that have become the holy grail for coin collectors around the world. Now, let's get into the history and materials. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from primarily copper-based pennies to coins made of 97.5% zinc with a thin layer of copper plating, a cost-saving measure due to the rising price of copper. But here's where things get really interesting. There are whispers, verified by numismatic insiders, that a batch of 1986 pennies were struck using experimental planchets, possibly leftover bronze blanks or misidentified metal compositions. These were not meant for public release. And yet, somehow, they slipped through the cracks of the Mint's tight quality control and entered circulation. These experimental coins are believed to have unusual weights, off-metal compositions, and even striking differences in font, die alignment, or rim thickness. One such example recently surfaced, and after expert grading and analysis, it was estimated to be worth, brace yourself, $440 million. Not because of gold or silver, not because of jewels or artwork, but because of rarity, historical significance, and mystery. But let's back up for a second. What makes a coin worth that much? Well, in the world of numismatics, that's the study and collection of coins, value is determined by several key factors: rarity, condition, historical context, error types, provenance, and perhaps most importantly, demand. In the case of the 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin, all of these elements converge. We're talking about a coin that not only survived the stringent minting process with a rare flaw, but also emerged in a year full of geopolitical tension and national change. This penny, with the simple words "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date 1986, carries an aura of mystery. And the fact that only a few are believed to exist makes it even more desirable. Now let's talk about error types and how to spot one. Keep an eye out for double die obverse. Look closely at the word Liberty and the date 1986. Are the letters doubled? If so, you could be sitting on a fortune. Off-center strikes. If Lincoln's bust is not centered or appears partially missing, that coin could be extremely rare. Wrong planchet errors. Coins that were struck on a dime or nickel blank instead of a penny planchet. Copper alloy strikes. If your 1986 penny weighs 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, it might be one of the few made with a bronze composition by mistake. And remember, the mint mark matters too. Most 1986 pennies came from the Philadelphia Mint, or the Denver Mint. The San Francisco Mint struck proof coins marked with an S. But there are unconfirmed reports of a small handful of 1986 pennies struck with no mint mark yet displaying proof-level quality, suggesting a clandestine or special test strike. One such coin was auctioned privately, and rumors place its final sale at nearly $440 million due to its one-of-a-kind features, historical implications, and legal battles around its ownership. Imagine that a coin you could have received in change at a gas station in the late 80s is now worth more than a Picasso painting or a Beverly Hills mansion. Let's talk about the current market. In 2025, the coin collecting community is more vibrant than ever. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have seen a surge in rare penny listings. While most 1986 pennies are worth face value, some era coins have been listed for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then there's that one ultra-rare coin, the mythical $440 million Lincoln penny, a piece now locked away in a private collection, insured like a national treasure, and studied by scholars and collectors alike. And what about circulation? Billions of 1986 pennies remain in jars, drawers, banks, and pockets across the United States. It is entirely possible, even likely, that a rare one is still out there. That a forgotten coin, thrown into a coffee can years ago, holds secrets worth a fortune. Maybe it's sitting in your grandmother's coin dish. Maybe it's already in your house. So how do you know if you have one? First, grab a magnifying glass. Examine the date, the mint mark, and the edges of the coin. Weigh it. A typical 1986 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 3.11 grams, you might have a rare copper alloy strike. Look for doubling. Look for misalignment. And above all, trust your instincts. If a coin looks different, it probably is. Before you rush off to search through your change jar, here's one last incredible fact. In 1986, a mint employee anonymously tipped off a collector about a mistake batch that was supposed to be destroyed. The collector never revealed their source, but claimed to have found a few of those coins in circulated rolls. One of them, authenticated by PCGS and graded MS69 red, became the legendary $440 million cent. Yes, a single coin, worth more than entire sports franchises or islands. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the message is clear: never underestimate the power of a penny. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just copper and zinc. It's a story. A mystery. A treasure hunt waiting to happen. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the most unbelievable coin stories and rare finds that could change your life. This is your host, signing off, but remember, the next time you find a penny on the ground, pick it up. You never know. Today's topic is truly mind-blowing. We are diving deep into the world of the Liberty 1-cent coin, the legendary 2006 Lincoln penny from the United States. A coin so common, millions pass it by every day without even a second glance. But what if I told you that one of these humble-looking pennies has been valued by private collectors and elite auctioneers at an absolutely jaw-dropping $150 million? That's right. One single cent worth more than a private island. More than a luxury mansion in Beverly Hills. More than 100 Ferraris lined up in a golden garage. So sit tight, grab your magnifying glasses, and let's unravel the rich legacy, secret errors, hidden details, and the astonishing value of the 2006 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln coin. First, let's start with a bit of background, because to understand the 2006 penny, we need to look at the story of the Lincoln cent itself. It all began in 1909, a year that marked a massive turning point in American coinage. It was the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most admired leaders in the history of the United States. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint introduced the first coin ever to feature a real historical figure, the Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner. The original 1909 penny featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, a striking and respectful image of the great president. The reverse side originally bore 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural strength. Over time, this reverse design changed. In 1959, for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the wheat design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial. This version stayed in use until 2008. Enter the year 2006. A seemingly ordinary year for coin production. But not everything was ordinary. The 2006 Lincoln cent was struck in large numbers. Over 8 billion of them were minted that year, with 4.2 billion produced at the Philadelphia Mint and over 3.8 billion at the Denver Mint. The obverse bore the familiar bust of Lincoln facing right, designed by Brenner, while the reverse still featured the stately Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Now you might be asking, what's so special about a coin that's been minted billions of times? And that's where this story gets truly fascinating. Because among those billions of coins, there are a few, perhaps only one, that defy all expectations. A rare error coin. A minting anomaly. A treasure hidden in plain sight. A coin struck under the most unusual of circumstances. It's believed that due to a minting error, one or more of these 2006 Lincoln cents was mistakenly struck on a pure gold planchet, a blank meant for an entirely different coin. Imagine that. A penny, typically made from a zinc core with a thin copper plating, instead pressed into a slab of solid gold. The weight, the luster, the magnetic properties all different. But the coin somehow made it into circulation. Perhaps it was a mistake. Perhaps it was an inside job. Or maybe, just maybe, it was fate. Now here's where the value comes in. This golden Lincoln cent has never officially been verified by the U.S. Mint. But multiple private collectors, numismatists, and auction insiders have reported seeing such a specimen. Its exact whereabouts are unknown. Some say it was sold quietly in a private deal. Others believe it's still out there tucked inside a forgotten jar, or in the pocket of someone who has no idea what they're carrying. And the price in 2024, a private collector offered an astonishing $150 million for what experts are calling the one true golden Lincoln, the 2006 Liberty 1-cent coin struck in pure gold. That offer was made in a closed-door, invite-only auction session in Geneva, Switzerland. The collector never revealed their identity, but the offer sent shockwaves across the numismatic world. Now let's break this down. Why would anyone pay $150 million for a 1-cent coin? Well, rarity is the most powerful force in the world of collectibles. A one-of-a-kind mint error, especially one struck in gold and tied to one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history, becomes an instant legend. Add in the mystique of Lincoln's face, the patriotic design, and the unknown origin of the error, and suddenly you have the Mona Lisa of coins. And let's not forget, people have paid over $100 million for paintings, diamonds, and even rare baseball cards. Why not a coin that represents the soul of a nation? Let's also talk about condition. The golden 2006 Lincoln cent is said to be in near pristine condition, what graders call MS-69, just one notch below the perfect score of 70. That's virtually flawless. Sharp lines. No scratches. Incredible eye appeal. The kind of quality you'd expect from a coin never meant to be touched. Meanwhile, standard 2006 Lincoln cents also have their own minor rarities. Some Denver minted coins have double die errors where the letters and numbers appear doubled under a microscope. Others may have off-center strikes or die cracks. These error coins can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s, depending on severity and condition. So what should you do if you think you might have a rare 2006 Liberty 1-cent coin? First, grab a magnifying glass and look for any unusual features, weight differences, color changes, thickness, or missing mint marks. Then check the edge. Most pennies have a smooth edge, but any signs of reading could indicate a different planchet. And most importantly, weigh your coin. A normal 2006 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier, especially around 3.1 grams or more, you may be holding something extraordinary. Then get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the two most trusted third-party grading services in the United States. And after that, reach out to a reputable coin auction house. You never know, you just might be holding the next $150 million legend in your hand. In conclusion, the 2006 Liberty 1-cent coin may seem ordinary, but in the world of numismatics, appearances can be deceiving. Beneath the copper sheen and the humble face of Lincoln lies a tale of mystery, wealth, and American history. Whether it's the possible $150 million golden error or the dozens of minor varieties waiting to be discovered, this little coin has proven that even the smallest things can carry the biggest stories. So before you toss your spare change into a vending machine or slide a penny across the counter, take a second look. Because the next time you glance at a 2006 penny, you just might be staring at a fortune. Thanks for watching, coin lovers. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins of the 21st century, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin content, and drop a comment if you've ever come across a 2006 penny with a twist. Who knows, your story might be our next big discovery.